I want to introduce to you all Faye Liu, the Deputy Secretary General of China Youth Climate Action Network, CYCAN. So Faye is the current Deputy Secretary General of CYCAN. She's also the co-founder of Salu Studio in the UK. As an international art and design company, Salu Studio advocates its concern for environmental issues through art and technology. And Faye initiated the project of redoing the path of the mankind migration via more than 20 countries in East Africa, North Africa, the Middle East, Europe, and Asia to shoot documentaries on global climate and its countermeasures. So let us welcome Faye and her introduction.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. It's such a great honor to be here at the local conference of youth in Hong Kong. So I am Faye. I am the Deputy Secretary General of CYCAN. So CYCAN is the abbreviation of China Youth Climate Action Network. And we are the first non-profit environmental organization in China to focus on empowering Chinese youth to take action and provide voice for university students and young people to actually take initiative to tackling climate change. And CYCAN was established in 2007, and now we have engaged more than 500 Chinese universities and hundreds of thousands Chinese youth to actually raising the awareness on climate change and taking actions at the same time. So focusing China on a macro level, probably all of you have known that President Xi has committed that China will have its carbon emission peaking before 2030 and achieve carbon neutral before 2060. And that's, on a macro level, has really boosted confidence in the for people who work in this field. And what's more positive from my point of view is that instead of focusing on deadline 2030 and 2060, more and more discussions are now focusing on the before. So how do we achieve the target before the deadline, which, like in general, is a really big confidence boost in the sector. As for CYCAN and youth in China, in fact, for the first 10 years, CYCAN, what mainly CYCAN was doing is to raising the awareness among young people on the issue. But as everybody knows, that awareness is not enough. We must take action, must be in place. So in order to do the transition within the organization, we actually did a nationwide research survey on the current situation of China youth awareness and action regarding climate action. And it's a fairly recent survey. So maybe I'll share with you some of the key findings we have in the survey. That we see that clearly more than 85% of the youth believe that we are having a climate crisis. And nearly half of them think actually climate change is the most important and severe issue that we are facing at the current moment, even compared with inequality, poverty, and so on. And at the same time, when most people don't relate climate change to themselves as much, because when we're asking them what's the first image or what's the first words that you think of when we talk about climate change, most people would still responding like the melting glaciers and raising temperature, but not much about the current food crisis or to our health or to the weather patterns that we see that is changing, more extreme weathers. So we could see that there's the relevance to oneself is not yet in place as we would like it to be. And on the same time, when we work with the younger generation, their favorite channel for getting more information and getting more involved is through documentary. It's much more preferred than the media channels and textbooks. And the most preferred way of taking action is by joining activities and workshops organized by student unions and NGOs. These are the situation for the Chinese university students. So in general, I would say the awareness is there. Knowledge needs to be updated. We need to build the relevance with like the individual. And there's also a lack of action in the daily life. And then how should we engage them? That's the question we ask ourselves constantly, more and more engaging them to take action. So what right now we're trying to build the relevance and spreading knowledge in their preferred way. So first we're launching a campaign called the Let's Make the Tradition Be Popular Again, using mini documentaries about our traditional lifestyle in our grandparents' generation, and make the connection with what everybody is talking about these days is a zero waste lifestyle and also sustainable lifestyle, rather than seeing it as a Western movement. We see it in our tradition and find the tradition in our own home and see what the younger generation wants to keep, and also stimulate this cross-generation conversations. So that's the first thing we do, is to find the connection with the youth in their daily life and learning and pass on our own traditions in China. And number two is that since people like workshops, we are also organizing more workshops related to sustainable life. So we have these like small camps, like 5 days, to practice zero waste, plant-based diets, minimalism, and so on. And put these concepts into the workshops. And the people we're choosing to attend the workshops, we would call them actually the center of the communities in universities or in their own compound. And we want to train the trainers in order for them to be their own center, and then empowering them to spread the message with their own community by organizing similar events, and we also provide support for that. And thirdly, especially for young college students, what they care about the most is to find a meaningful and interesting job. So far, not much focus is in the climate and sustainable development area. What we're doing now is by building a platform, an employment platform, gathering organizations, social enterprises, and commercial business who are active in the carbon and climate and sustainable development sector to really engage them, to make them focus on this sector.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Faye, for sharing.